Hello and welcome everybody to Stellos Field, Stellos Stadium, Monofield here in Nashua, New Hampshire. John Collins along with Tom King. Our cameraman today once again is Tim O'Neill, and it is a summer-like day here on the pitch for field hockey.
Finally, it's back. This 30-some-odd degrees at night and everything else is not to my liking.
A little bit in the summer for you, Tom, before September expires.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we want. So this will be a good game, John, but you're going to be calling the number 11, Caitlin West, for Nashua South a lot today, I would imagine.
Why do you say that, Tom?
Because she had 5 goals, all 5 goals in the first game of 5-0
in one game in field
Yep.
hockey. That's got to be some kind of a record.
Yeah, and she's only a junior, so keep an eye on her because she'll be a very, very, very big part. Now, the fun part of all this is that you have a rematch of a game played two days ago. So in other words, Robert Bailey and the Titans can make a few adjustments. They'll look at film and make adjustments with their 1 day.
I have an adjustment, a triple team on number 11.
Yeah, well, they may do that, but
Yeah.
I mean, you have to, you got to do what the rules allow.
Right,
so
right.
Bailey did not like the penetration that they got in front of, in front of goaltender Maddie Goulet. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do it. I really will see what kind of defense North comes up with, because I think North's deal in this game is the best offense is a good defense, and of course South, they'll want to forge ahead with Caitlin West, and it's going to be a tough barometer to see how these teams are, because they're all playing just so few teams during the season, 4 or 5 teams twice each.
A little windier than we've had so far this fall.
Now, it's a windy, it's a windy
Any
day.
effect on a field hockey game?
No.
No, I didn't think so, right?
No effect.
Played
on
down
field
low.
Hockey. Soccer maybe, field hockey, football yes, field hockey no.
Right. We will have football this week during the Battle of the Bridge week here on Nashua TV. We've got soccer and field hockey and volleyball and football on Friday.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, John, you look around high school states all around New England, it's the only game in town, really.
Remarkable, huh? That where you've been playing?
No one else is playing.
All right. You've been checking the news ticker every
I checked
hour
today,
to see about cancellations.
They had canceled a week ago, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And Massachusetts, no, because they have that
stricter policy?
Now they have that pseudo fall season coming in between the end of February and the end of April.
Okay.
And then Rhode Island, I don't believe, and Vermont's 7-on-7 with football. So now Massachusetts is playing some of the lower risk sports this fall. So they are playing some sports this fall. So, but this will be interesting. We'll see what the Panthers can do, but I'll be very curious to see what kind of adjustments the Titans make in this game.
Similar to soccer and football, 11 players aside, including a goaltender. Each team has 2 goalies on the roster, Tom. Any change in goal that we can see from Monday's game?
I haven't looked. I would imagine that Courtney Tello is the goalie for South and Maddie Goulet for North. They're pretty much standards. And have played really well.
So a 5-goal game for
And
Caitlin
remember,
West.
it's all about possession in field hockey. It really is. So,
right. And North was hoping not to see a repeat of that remarkable performance.
This has got to be a hungry Titan program, because they went 0-14 last year. So, they don't have that many games this season, and it is an open tournament. They will play in a postseason game. So
the Titans with possession early. Kaylin Creer, number 4, shot it on ahead. Teams trade possessions. Ava Susi had it, and
so far North has that possession.
Mackenzie Smith try to push it forward, and South intercepts. So on the attack now, the Panthers trying to come out of their own end. A lot of changes of possession in field hockey. It's a close quarters type of game.
Yeah, well, it's 1-on-5 right here with North going up against the South defense, and they're going to get a penalty corner out of it.
Nice for North. Incremental progress since the opening faceoff, and they make their way to the penalty corner just a few minutes into this one. 15-minute halves in girls quarters in field hockey.
That's the difference this year.
Yeah.
It's a change from a year ago. Yes, it used to be, and from several years. Several years of 25-minute halves or 30-minute halves. And now it is 15-minute quarters. And the clock will only stop after scoring, unless there's an injury or the referee needs to stop it for a timeout.
Good clear was made there by a South defender, Ruthie Mosley. Ruthie escorts that ball over the end line. It is out off the stick of a North player, so South with possession now. Looking for their first offensive zone possession of the game. The Panthers, who won game 1 of this rivalry series handily earlier this week, trying to duplicate that effort here in game 2 of Battle of the Bridge field hockey. They got the ball as far as the midfield stripe, the 50-yard line, on this 100-yard pitch, but it's repelled by North again. So South struggling to get going on offense early. Now the Panthers are into the offensive zone. Far sideline.
Took a while, but they got there.
Madison Berthiaume is number 10. And we do a reset.
That's
crossfield pass. Good intentions, but North able to intercept, and I believe that was a kick ball.
I never liked the backwards passes. I always say you got to go in one direction, you go towards the goal, always. Even if the player isn't open down ahead of you and open behind you, I just hate going in the other direction.
Kaylin Creer shoots it on ahead. Only purple jerseys, though, to receive that pass.
And West, who's right there at the 40. Now that's her first touch of the game.
Barring the opening faceoff.
Yep.
And she does a hurling strike.
Shoots it down. Hey, get it down there. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Get it down there and let them make a play. You know, that's what South's strategy should be after this slow start.
Not a bad idea.
Well, against the way North is playing right now, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's been demonstrated how difficult it is to come out from deep in your own end, and right there, Caitlin West was able to flip the field and now make it a challenge for North to come out of their own end. It's a good pass up the sideline. As sticks clatter, the whistle goes Panthers' way. Ball threaded ahead onto the stick of a Titans defender. Kaylin Creer trying to maneuver down the sideline, doing a good job of it. To the middle now. The Titans making progress once again.
It took South about 5 minutes before they scored in the opener. I think it's going to take them a little bit longer in this one if they do score.
Lauren Shaw, number 6, had made some progress for the Titans before ball was stripped off her stick by Nora Palcon, number 5 for the Panthers, with a good play, earning possession for South. Of course, South in the all-purple uniforms and North in the visiting whites.
Little difference from the other day.
Threading her way through traffic. That's good stick handling by Caitlin West. She had a winger on the right, couldn't reach Audra Robinson. Now Audra's going to track it down. Self-pass, has some space. A centering pass and a one-timer. Caitlin West picking up where she left off in game 1.
Great pass from the side.
Has her 6th goal of the season.
I think on that pass, it was Audra Robinson. I'm pretty sure, number 14.
I guess we're even farther behind.
Thank you, Booker. Yep.
We're even farther behind on the replay on the monitor today.
That's good, John, because I'm really behind in life, so that just works out.
But what a pass that was.
It was a fabulous pass. And
a little bit of a miscue by the Titans defense to give Audra Robinson that kind of space, Tom.
Yeah, really.
She was able to take her time and find her teammate in that danger zone there. For you old NHL fans, that's Phil Esposito territory. You just camp out there and wait for the pass and bang it home as soon as you get it on your stick.
Well, it took him just a little over 5 minutes this time.
Yeah.
5:15.
And Caitlin West almost in the same spot where she scored, trying to get a shot away. Stick handling in traffic, doing a great job.
Nice save by Goulet.
Goulet with a right foot save in traffic. And that whistle's going to favor the Titans, so relieves the pressure that the Panther offense was putting on, looking for goal number
But
2.
see, you can't allow that kind of a pass. You know, you have to be better in the interior. And that was a long pass that had a lot of travel time and certainly was an open ball for anybody to grab in that pathway.
Reminded me of a corner kick in soccer. I mean, that was the equivalent for field hockey. It's as close as you'll get. The long pass with nobody in between.
And that's the problem. There was nobody in between. The passing lane was wide open. You know, that's a problem defensively.
Panthers enjoying a field positional advantage here. As we look to the right, the Titans started off the game with some good offensive zone possession and trying to take a page out of Caitlin West's book. Lauren Shaw hacks it down the field. So the Panthers are in their own end, playing it in from the sideline. We're just about halfway through the first quarter, 1-0. South leads North. Girls field hockey on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here on the banks of the Nashua River.
Yeah, we've had incredibly good weather this fall. I mean, in this month, haven't we?
We have. The only people
'cause
that would have a beef with it probably are the apple orchards, where they
people
say
need
that
the water.
they haven't had enough.
Right, exactly. Need the rain.
And also, it's a elevated fire danger across the state currently.
Across New England, I would imagine.
Right. Yep. Audra Robinson, who has the assist on the goal, broken up. Kaylin Creer does a nice job defensively to win possession close to midfield. 7 minutes to go, first quarter. Kaylin Creer has had a lot of touches for North and making the most of it, but this time she gets whistled for maybe it was stepping on an opponent's stick. The officials watch like a hawk when you are playing field hockey to look for infractions, and you will hear much more frequent whistles than, say, in hockey or soccer. Ice hockey, that is. Possession for South Deep.
Imagine if there were this many whistles in ice hockey. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Nobody would go.
That's right. It wouldn't be such a fast game, would it?
No.
Solil Dubois with the inbound play here.
But tell you what, there's fewer whistles in there than there used to be.
Ooh.
You see, there's the shot, and there's going to be a whistle. But the difference between now and years ago, John, say that ball went airborne through, it didn't hit anybody. All right, that would have been a clean ball. Years ago, that would have been called a dangerous hit. If it didn't hit anybody, it still would have been a dangerous hit. They would have stopped the game.
Wow, really?
Yep. They've relaxed the rules a little bit. Seems to, anyway. Here's Robinson with the ball.
This time, Kaylin Creer is in the passing lane. Audra still has it. Just a half a step inside the end line. Passes it back to Solil Dubois. Battling for possession. Near side. It was Reagan Belanger, number 15, who factored in winning the ball back for the Titans. And Kaylin Creer with her head up looking for a teammate to pass to. And a lot of purple-clad players in the way. Caitlin West was on the attack before it was whistled dead. And Caitlin intercepts, looking for her second goal of the game. Already with 6 goals on the season.
Remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
they were looking. They needed somebody. I mean, Krista McIntyre was a big player for them last year. She's graduated, moved on, so moved to Merrimack College, and so where she'll play lacrosse. But they needed someone as a go-to, and West is it.
Go West.
Yeah, really.
Young ladies.
That's what I said in my story the other day. They decided to go West.
Kaylin Creer And Caitlin West.
There she is.
Weaving
Nice
her
stick
way
handling,
through
yep.
traffic. Almost made through the last defender.
You know,
and
the
wins
rules,
the penalty corner.
You're limited what you can do normally, defensively. So
Yeah.
she's able to make that move, but, North has got to be able to make a defensive play and get a stick on it, but they've got to do it from the right side. So
The biggest handicap, it's not a penalty corner. It's
yes, it is.
Oh, it is? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's a
Yeah.
penalty corner,
I
yeah. Yep.
was blocked by the official there for a second. South in front of the
Centering.
net.
Yep.
Nobody able to convert.
Going for that center. See, that time North did a good job of clogging up the middle.
Looking for that centering pass and intercepting it. Biggest handicap that I see in watching field hockey is, as a former street hockey player, you can't use both sides of the blade.
And that's why defensively you're at a little bit of a disadvantage sometimes.
Right. Both ways, though, really, because you take a player like Caitlin West, she could probably really work some magic. You let her lose both sides of that blade.
That stick, she could,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. As it is, I see that she turns it on its end and does it legally that way, which is a trick in itself. Trickles forward. Nice concentration there by Madison Berthome, number 10, to maintain possession in traffic. Towards the goal it goes. Caitlin West had it momentarily. Intercepted by Soleil Dubois.
Shoot it here.
Deflected. It's in traffic, and we have
another penalty corner, I believe.
Another penalty corner is right. It's going to come from this side again, it appears. And taking it is Soleil Dubois. So you can see the defenders for North lining up on the end line and in the goal. Back it comes to Berthome. Audra Robinson trying to get it on ahead to Caitlin West. She does. West in front, just 5 yards away.
She had to turn around to get it on the correct side of the stick, and that slowed her down. There it is right there, another shot.
Just
wide.
off to the right.
Just wide. That time she was ready. The other time she had to switch sides of the stick, and by the time she did that, it was knocked away. Minute 28 left to play here in the first quarter, as we have the scoreboard up on our screen.
So the officials have South still with possession, but restarting 25 yards away from the goal crease. Titans have been on defense for the better part of the first quarter, as there's a minute left in it. Nice whirling dervish move in the middle of the field.
Getting the Titan fans excited. Now remember, John, these Titan fans, they weren't able to go or at least sit in the stands inside the stadium on Monday. There were a lot of them behind the fence looking in from that angle and from the other side. So there were a few parents doing that. And I imagine you're going to see a lot of that on Friday night at the football game.
Right.
You're going to see people outside the property looking in.
And I believe we'll be streaming that game live, too, if you want to watch on Nashua TV. Middle of the field. Just 12 seconds left in the quarter. I don't know if South's going to be able to get it up in front and get a shot away.
Probably not. Robinson's really harassed there. Good job by North to
slow down the attack.
Job, yeah.
And that'll do it.
They look like a battle of 14s. Not sure. No.
Could have been 15, Reagan Belanger.
Yeah, or Sarah. Yeah, it was Sarah Weintraub, because there's numbers on the back.
Okay.
John.
There it is.
2 on the back.
Sarah Weintraub. So we have the first quarter break, and we will put another 15 minutes up on the board and go to quarter number 2 here. Girls field hockey at sun-splashed Stellos Stadium on a September 24 of 2020. Or is it 23? 23. 2-3. Football game's on the 25th, so that would work out. We got soccer tomorrow night. North and South boys going at it. We had a thrilling girls soccer game last night that was won 1-0 by North. A goal in the first half by Emily DeLeo off a direct kick. A foul just outside of the goalie box. She was about 15 yards away when she, maybe longer. It was probably closer to 20 yards away when she kicked a perfect strike off the underside of the crossbar and in for the game's only goal, and it was a beauty. 1-0. North won the girls soccer game, and South trying to bounce back for their team here in the Battle of the Bridge in girls field hockey, up 1-0 on a goal by Caitlin West, assisted by Audra Robinson in the first quarter. After the opening face-off, it looked like that North might have made some adjustments that would even the scales. They surrendered a one-sided victory to South on Monday. It featured 5 goals by Caitlin West, but then the South offense pretty much took over the game for most of the first quarter, and that's where we are now as we get set to begin play in the second quarter here at Stellos Stadium. John Collins with Tom King and our cameraman Tim O'Neill, the executive producer who is making our schedule and getting these games onto Nashua TV, Pete Johnson, doing an outstanding job as always right through this pandemic, which is just a incredible once-in-a-lifetime experience that we can talk about later, but we never want to go through again, that's for sure. Fortunate to have any sports at all here in Nashua. The Silver Knight season, the baseball season, was remarkable in itself that even happened over at Holman Stadium. A huge credit to the Futures Collegiate Baseball League to get that season in, including the exciting final 3-game series at Holman that we got to do here on Nashua TV. Another summer championship for the Nashua Silver Knights. A big gust of wind. I hope Tim's holding on to the camera up there. That was, I want to say, somewhere between 25, 35 mile an hour gust we just experienced. Doesn't have a huge effect down on the pitch, though, as it looks very serene, sunny and calm as we restart play here in the second quarter at Stellos. Fresh 15 minutes up on the board, and North trying to pick up where they left off in the first quarter and come out off the opening faceoff with some offensive pressure. Instead, it's South making progress immediately down the field. Caitlin West with a nifty move to surpass one defender. Now she's beaten another, and she's gotten in close. It goes over the end line, and it will be a, let's see, a North or a South possession. It will be the Titans with it. So very aggressive run right off the opening faceoff by Nashua South. Ball trickles over the end line, however, and the Titans awarded possession. What a juggling act by West. She still has it on her stick. She traveled about 7 yards with it. A legal play, obviously. Robinson's centering pass goes through everyone toward the far sideline, where it's finally collected by Nora Palcon. Midfield. Titans with possession now. Caitlin Fry, number 7, had a touch on it. Through traffic. Nice progress being made by Lauren Shaw. They're back to the goal for the moment. Kind of a body check there being called against the Panthers. So Lauren Shaw will get to set up a set piece here. A penalty corner awarded to the Titans after body contact made with the Titans in possession of the ball. And so the penalty corner, the first of the game for the Titans, being set up here in the second quarter, a scoring opportunity to maybe tie this game up. Very hard hit. It's a deflected shot that goes wide to the right of the goal. Addison Hebert is the goalkeeper. Excuse me, no, that's South goalkeeper. That's Courtney Tello in goal for South as North threatens to tie the game up with possession here in the early going of the second quarter. A mishit by Mackenzie Smith yields a possession for South as they make progress down the near sideline. Audra Robinson falls as she shoots it way forward down the sideline, and perfectly straight lead pass that stays inbounds. Titans intercept, and South wins possession back. Teams trading possessions now down deep, and Caitlin West with that magical stick handling. Always a threat in the offensive zone. Robinson toward the goal. Nicely intercepted by the Titans defense as they make some progress down the sideline. Shoveled on ahead. Lauren Shaw with it. Right side. More progress for the Titans. Battle for possession on the far sideline and taken away. That whistle will go against the Panthers. So some offensive zone time for North as they trail 1-0 here in the second quarter. Played almost 5 minutes of the 15-minute second quarter. And North has had some decent penetration down deep and looking for an equalizer. That one had a little bit of a loft on it, and I believe that's going to be a change of possession. South with the ball. Always the temptation to lift it on passes and shots in field hockey, and if it's deemed a dangerous hit, the whistle will sound and the possession will change over. So you can sometimes walk a fine line with how high and hard you can hit them here in field hockey. Rat-a-tat strategic passing seems to be the goal. Whistle goes against the Panthers just when Caitlin West was getting going toward the net. It's going to be a sideline play rather than a free hit. Oh, they're going to just redirect where the free hit comes from. That's what it is. A bouncer corralled by South. Ball struck a Titans defender around the knee area, so they'll restart again. Good anticipation by North right there as Caitlin Fry could read where the pass was going to go. Not able to complete the interception, though, as the Panthers continue to make progress offensively. Nice step up by South, getting it into the middle, and a point-blank try. No, not able to get the shot away. It is going to be a penalty corner for South. That was a nice pass from the far side, threading its way through traffic right in front of the goal where Christina Menke was waiting. The senior, number 7, had it on her stick for a moment before she was fouled. And now we have a penalty corner for South, leading 1-0. That is Christina Menke with the ball. She passes it to the middle. The shot just off to the left. It might have been deflected by either the goaltender or one of the defenders just inside the right post. As we look at it, it is another penalty corner for South. And Christina Menke will take it again. She passed it the last time to Elizabeth DeRusha Number 24, the sophomore in the middle. Caitlin West is waiting for it as well, but it goes all the way back. Now DeRusha shovels it forward. West almost got it in the shooting position. Kind of a backhander there. Danger zone for North, and they're able to sweep it away. North fans like that, to get it out of the box area and out of danger. But South had another scintillating scoring opportunity that they're going to try to recreate here as a foot race to the sideline to try to keep that in the red line, and it's just not going to happen. So actually the blue line is where the inbounds is here in field hockey. You can see the various boundaries, yellow, red, blue, and white for soccer and field hockey and football. One might be for lacrosse. So South just piling up the penalty corners and keeping the pressure on the Titans. 6:44 to go in the half. South already leading 1-0, trying to double up on that. As the sun goes behind a cloud here, giving us an even better view of the pitch. South trying to get a ball into the center area, and a goal. It is another goal for Caitlin West. Left alone, only 5 yards away from the crease, and she was able to find the open side of the goal and make it 2-0 South with 6:21 to go in the half. Caitlin West has her 7th goal of the season. So just too many penalty corners in a row surrendered by North, and finally, with all that pressure, the roof caved in, and they were able, South was able to convert with Caitlin West left alone in front. Unlike ice hockey, say, where the goalie takes up a large percentage of the net comparatively, there's oftentimes a lot of net to shoot at, a lot of goal mouth to go for in field hockey. The goalie is only takes up a fraction of the space of a goal in field hockey, similar to soccer. So if you do get the ball in a shooting spot like that, it's sort of like a penalty kick in soccer. It's a high percentage scoring play. And you just can't let the ball get to a player of Caitlin West's caliber with that kind of space and not expect her to score. 2-0. South in the lead here in the Battle of the Bridge Game 2, trying to make it a field hockey sweep this week. Audra Robinson, who's been excellent to this point in the game, earns a restart with possession. Bearing in again on the goal are the Panthers. Madison Berthiaume drew a foul there. So Lee Dubois will get to restart play. And she's going to back it up a little bit, looking for an open teammate. Threads it through, but two Titans defenders are waiting for that pass. And it is going to be another penalty corner. South just keeps piling up the fouls in the offensive zone and earning more and more scoring opportunities. Not a good formula for North's comeback. This will be from the opposite side now by Solil Dubois, and she will have her choice of teammates to pass to when play is whistled to resume. So you just don't need the whistle. Return pass to Dubois. She tried to feed Caitlin West, standing just feet away from the goal. Instead, it is a miss hit by South that is whistled, and the Titans have a chance to come out of their own end. North did have a penalty kick, a penalty corner in this half. They want to recreate that situation, get the ball across midfield if they can. Made some progress far side before the infraction is called, and South regains possession. Number 12 for the Panthers sweeps it on ahead. Salil Dubois has been a factor here in the second quarter for the Panthers, and time of possession. A lot of time of possession as we look to our right, a lot. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half, a 2-0 lead for South. They have put on consistent pressure in the offensive end. Crossfield pass to kind of change the face of the game for a moment as Audra Robinson finds some room to roam inside the blue stripe all the way down into Titan territory. Audra Robinson making great progress there. Caitlin West turns around with possession in front. West shot, save, and a save of the game for the Titans goalkeeper on that one. Madison Goulet with a tremendous stop. As Caitlin West was right in front with a bid for the hat trick, her third goal of the game it would have been. And there was a goal? Was a goal scored by Boulet? Oh, Soleil. Okay. Soleil got it. Took my eye off it. I'm going to watch the replay on my own screen. I was consulting the roster, and I looked down, and they did, in fact, score a goal. I thought it was a save, and ball ended up in the back of the cage. So 3-0. South is, in fact, in the lead with a late goal here, getting it with just over 2 minutes to play in the contest. A 3-0 advantage. The Titans trying to answer back in the waning minutes of the first half. South's got to be very happy with being up 3-0 at this point. And it was Soleil, as we watched the replay, she was a good 20 yards out with that long shot that found its way through everybody and into the goal. So credit Soleil Dubois with that goal. And it's a 3-0 advantage for the Panthers. Another penalty corner as the clock continues to tick with 1:03 left in the first half. South has an opportunity here to go up 4-0, perhaps. Elizabeth DeRusha had it momentarily, and a dangerous hit called, and Titans possession. So just a half a minute left in the first half. Titans would do well to hang on to it and not surrender any last-second scoring opportunities for the Panthers here, rather than try too hard to come out of their own zone and turn it over. And that might be what just occurred. Nope. 16 seconds left to go. The Titans still have it. So pushed on ahead. 10 seconds. Caitlin West trying to get a long shot away inside the buzzer. That one's going to go astray, and that will do it in the first half. The buzzer sounds for the end of 30 minutes of field hockey. 3-0. South is leading North here on a Battle of the Bridge Wednesday, September 23rd of 2020. We will go to the figurative locker rooms for a halftime break and come back with more field hockey action here on Nashua ETV. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody, to Stellos Stadium in Nashua, where South is leading 3-0 at halftime of this girls' field hockey game. Battle of the Bridge. The South girls beat North in field hockey on Monday. They're trying to repeat it on Wednesday.
Now, this is a bad question on my part because I was right down there, but I had my lens trying to find the ball. Who scored that?
Well, thanks to Ibuka.
Yeah, Ibuka knows everything. Believe me. He is the
Dubois
one.
scored the goal.
Who
from
did?
Soleil.
Okay.
From about 20 yards away from the goal.
Yeah, because even the players didn't know because they're saying, did that go in? Yeah. That's what they were saying. So.
And the announcer here said it, too. I said it, too, because I had my head down at the roster, but luckily Ibuka was paying attention.
Soleil Dubois with a goal. All right.
So 3-0. That was the one goal that was not scored by Caitlin West.
Exactly. And now we will be looking down the other side to our left.
Yeah, when South is on offense.
Yeah, again, for everybody watching or watching this on the live stream or on tape delay on Channel 99, this is a rematch of Monday's game, which is, new. We don't usually do this, but because of the pandemic and they bubble the schedules in terms of just a few schools, South is the road team today, and they are in the purple uniforms, and North is in the home white. South going right to left on your TV screen, and North will be going the opposite. As much to John's chagrin, they switch sides.
Yeah, we're battling some lighting over here, but I'm sure it's pleasant to play down there in the shade on what is like a summer-like day here in late September.
Yeah, I'm warm. But of
South
course,
trying to get another goal here, up 3-0, looking to add to it, and they may have. Nope, I was going to say another penalty corner. They've certainly piled up the penalty corners in this game.
I'm a little warm, John, but of course I cannot take solace in the pool anymore.
It's all closed.
It's all closed.
That was your call.
Well,
it's your compound.
Yeah, but you have to do it because the temperature's in the 30s.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
It's just the water's, I get hypothermia with one splash.
So we look for any kind of silver lining we can find during the pandemic, and Tom just got the best news of the fall.
Yeah, tomorrow night's game is 5 and not 7. That's good.
That's one thing. The Hayward's is open
Hayward's
year-round.
is open, right, exactly.
And
Hayward's
Ibuka
is open
told us
year-round.
that. And Tom doesn't have to stock up on ice cream anymore. He can go there whenever he wants.
Right, exactly.
Just doesn't, and that's a good call by them, I think, because speaking as somebody that drives through Hudson frequently, Dairy Queen's been making a killing during this pandemic. I mean, the line goes down the neighborhood.
Does it really?
Oh,
wow.
It's the most popular place in town, so I
Every
imagine
time I've driven
Hayward.
by Hayward's has been a line.
I'm sure
and
Hayward's
they also,
is very
don't
popular
forget,
too.
they have the satellite place. They have their other place in Merrimack.
Busy.
So,
it's
and
good
that's
to see
got
somebody.
That's got an indoor area where you can go in and order.
Nice.
Year round. Wow.
Probably because they recognize that the demand is there year round.
Yeah.
And the customers will keep on coming. So North trying to mount some kind of an offense here and chip away at that South 3-0 lead.
Well, see, I had it in. I had a pipeline. So I have to work on Ibuka now because John Bourgeois, the South girls basketball coach, he used to work at Hayward's. He doesn't work there anymore. So.
Okay. South right back on the attack, just relentless. And North with some space to work with on the far
North
side.
had a couple good rushes late in that first half, John, that I thought they were going to make something of. They had Courtney Tello scrambling in front of her own net, and they just weren't able to capitalize. 3-0 the score, as you see there on your screen.
Caitlin West with some space. Passes it to Christina Menke in the corner. Menke trying to return the favor. Get it to Caitlin. She has it. And that's another penalty corner, I believe.
Yes, it is, yeah.
South
It's
with the field position advantage.
Figures in penalty corners.
Yes.
Clear.
Yeah, finally the dam broke in the second quarter as it was 1-0 for quite a while, and then Caitlin got that second goal. Soleil got the third goal, and here we are. North had the formula on defense there. Loose ball in front. I was going to say they managed to clear it away, but instead South intercepts, shoots it into the danger zone right in front of the goaltender, and the Panthers earn another penalty corner.
Busiest player in the game besides Caitlin West is Maddie Goulet, the goalie for North.
What happened there? Okay, so we're going to redo it?
Yep. Somebody moved.
Centering pass. Elizabeth DeRusha passed up the shot. They work their way through. A kick save by the goaltender. And
look at her cut down the angle right there, right in front of West. She did a great job. She knew where West was going, and she kind of followed her and cut the angle down.
Kaylin with 7 goals on the season. Her next one will be a hat trick in this game.
Well, she's got
5 Monday.
Yeah, she had 7. Yeah, you're right.
Audra Robinson sliding it toward the goal, and it's up in the air, knocked down.
Now, see, 10 years ago, that would have been a whistle.
An immediate whistle?
Yeah, immediate whistle. Ball above waist level.
I think the officials, they get together at the beginning of the season. They decide on things like that, how much they'll tolerate, the flexibility in the rules, maybe tweaking it a bit.
I don't know if there's a lot of flexibility. They must have changed the rules somewhere.
Seems like the baseball umpires always get together and they decide they're going to change the strike zone. It always goes back to the way it was a few games into the season.
Yeah, knees to the chest, right? I mean, what?
Yeah.
That shouldn't change. Falls down near your knees, you should be able to hit it.
There was one season there where they decided they were going to start calling the top of the zone more,
Yeah.
And
call it. I mean, I don't understand why you call one more or one the other. If it's where it's supposed to be for a strike, call it a strike.
Right.
I don't. There's no reason to.
There's that whole argument for robot umpiring.
Play with the rules. Well, I don't. I like the human factor. I don't want robot umpiring. There's a shot by West.
This is a game.
Wide. I don't want the robot umpires,
yeah.
John. I mean, there are some pitches that are borderline that an umpire will call one way or the other based on how he sees it right away. And it's an instantaneous call, but pitchers, catchers will frame it. You don't want to take away those nuances of the game.
I don't. This is a sport right here that would be really difficult to have a robot umpire.
There's only one problem in baseball, and that's the fact that pitchers take too long on the mound. And especially with men on base.
That's a good point.
That's the only problem there is with the game of baseball right now. The replay rule, not bad. I don't think. I think that as soon as a runner, I think sometimes the thing that's maddening about the replay rules is now if a runner slides into a base and then all of a sudden, falls off it and gets tagged, they call him out, even though he beat the throw and beat the play.
Yeah.
But the only thing really wrong in baseball is just pitchers who just, with men on base, just take forever.
There's no control on it. You're right. And it gets out of control.
Right.
Some of those guys.
Right.
South just making us look to the left as they keep the pressure on offensively, and finally the Titans with an opportunity to get the ball across midfield. We have played over halfway through the third quarter, and South with the best defense, a good offense philosophy going on here. Is there not? And here, look at this juggling act. That did you see her go 7 yards?
Yeah, I saw the juggling act in the second quarter. That was amazing. Down the right wing side.
I think there's some practicing going on in the home basement with that. I mean, she is really good with the stick and the ball. A balancing act. That's something you've seen.
That's a skill.
Yeah, I've seen golfers do that. YouTube
trick
shot videos
with a putter.
With a putter.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously it's a legal play because it wasn't in a game that's
she's able to run with it and balance it on the stick.
My question is, Tom, are you allowed to go the distance with that and just to knock it into the goal from your waist off the stick like that?
I don't know.
That would be an interesting goal. Would have to excerpt that for a YouTube video if Caitlin manages to do the juggling act and then score off of it. seen a few NHL hockey goals where the player will sort of palm the puck on his stick, on the blade of his stick, and then just jam it in the upper reaches of the net from around the back of the net
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's fine as long as the stick doesn't go up.
Yeah,
You know,
which is a legal play.
as long as there's no high sticking, you can do it.
I wonder if there's any such thing as puck stick 'em. You could get it,
No.
you could leave it on the stick. And
No, that's one thing you wouldn't want. The thing wouldn't move on the ice.
Velcro it to the stick and just jam it in, sort of like lacrosse.
Quiet period for
Yes.
Nashua South and Nashua North. I know that after they were down 5-0, North made a very big mission to make sure they played the fourth quarter without being scored upon, and they succeeded in that in the first game on Monday. And I'm sure that they're looking to do that here in the second half and try to generate some offense.
South pounces on the loose ball, try to shoot it toward the goal, but it goes out of bounds off a Panther player, and it'll be the Titans with possession. Just over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, 3-0. The Panthers lead as they continue with the pressure to look for goal number 4 and short circuit any thought of a Titans comeback. You can't score if you don't have the ball, and if you don't have the ball in the offensive zone.
Right.
In field hockey. A couple of players dueling for possession there. Number 9 for the Titans is Madeline Phillips, and number 3, Amy Marison for South, as the ball is shot wide to the left of the goal, and it will be a Titans possession. South going for it from distance. They did get a shot from a goal from about 20 yards distance from Soleil Dubois earlier. That was the third goal of the game. Caitlin West has 2 to add to her season total, which is now 7 in just 2 games. We'll have to consult the schedule to see when the teams play their first games against non-Nashua opponents.
Next week sometime. Not sure when.
But because these games have been covered by Tom King journalistically, and now the game 2 on Nashua TV, the word will be out about Caitlin West.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
In front.
Word is already out.
Yeah. Almost a goal-scoring opportunity for Isabella Walsh, who was
good
lurking
job by
in front.
North there. If I'm not mistaken, that's Madeline Phillips. She's been very good on defense for them throughout the 2 games. Number 9.
Good work by Kira Seiss, number 11 for the Titans, to get the ball into the offensive end.
It's the only varsity team contest that North has not won in the bridge games, in the rivalry games.
North having a good week.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I'm very surprised at what I saw last night with girls soccer. I thought that was one of the better played North games in the last couple of years in terms of just precision and knowing where everybody was going to be. And
to shut out a South team with a lot of talent.
That's got some talent. That was just a great job by the Titans.
Penalty corner for the Titans as they look for their first goal of the game. The
long hit.
It
just slides by. Oh, wow. North fans beside themselves as they thought they had their first goal of the season. Penalty corners are rare. Here's a chance right here.
Let's see.
Get another one, I think. No. This would go to South.
Right.
Minute left here in the third quarter. One of the better offensive flurries. I think the second best offensive flurry the Titans have had in this game.
Yeah, the first one in a while. Kira Seiss has been a burst of energy for North and has, I think that was Lauren Shaw in the middle. As they try to get a goal and get some momentum here entering the fourth quarter. Just a half a minute left in the third.
That would have been a big goal if North could have scored it. It would have been just a 2-goal game going into the final frame. Instead, South hunting for what would be, you would imagine, a put-away goal here in field hockey. 3 goals is a lot. 4 goals would seemingly be insurmountable, especially with the offensive zone time that South has been able to put up consistently. North's got to really make the most of every opportunity. There's the buzzer, 3 quarters in the books. And it looks like the teams will change ends again.
No.
No?
No, they won't change.
The goaltenders.
Goaltenders are coming out because it's the end of the quarter and they huddle up.
Oh, they
They're not
huddle
switching.
up.
South bench.
Yeah,
is
the
over
benches,
here.
they got a
So
crisscross.
they got a crisscross for the benches.
There we go. So they have 2
Gotta
minutes
get you
in
down
between
with that
quarters.
changing ends thing, Johnny. Got to get you
Yeah.
stand pat with that. 3-0 Nashua South after 3 quarters. 2 goals by Caitlin West and Soleil Dubois with the other goal. On a sun-splashed Stello Stadium with the temperature above 70 degrees, approaching 80. And it's going to be this warm the rest of the week.
Is it?
I believe so, yeah.
That's your forecast?
That's what I saw.
Yes. Beautiful weather. And imagine,
It was too cold too early, I thought.
yeah,
Way too early.
football will benefit Friday night.
Well, they'd probably rather have it a little colder.
It probably would.
Oh, yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
Yeah.
They would have liked, last Friday night's weather.
So hydrate, you guys. Hydrate.
Well,
we have
so
so many first
this
games
is a
were cramps.
difficult practice today for both teams, for all the football teams that are out there, because they've been practicing in cool weather for the last week or so, and now all of a sudden they have to adjust.
Yep. That's the number one thing you see go wrong in those opening games.
Well,
of
I
the
remember a
season,
couple of years
cramps.
ago, John, late in September or mid-September, we had a huge heat wave that was 90s regularly for 2 or 3 days. Some athletic events were canceled or postponed because of the heat. And so it was, difficult. The benches were on the other side of the stadium in the shade. They moved them over there to get, if there were any games played here in terms of soccer or field hockey. But some of those games were also postponed with the heat.
Seems a shame to have those stands open across the way, but protocols are what they are these days.
Well, I think the thinking is obviously to keep the crowds down as much as possible, but the problem you have with larger crowds is entering and exiting.
Right.
So I think one way around that here is to have separate entrances for both sides. In other words, south on one side, north down on the other side to enter and exit. And that way you don't have a lot of people at one exit point. But you've got to have manpower to work those gates.
So, few local teams are in action with football this Friday, including Alvern is hosting Salem. And I was told that on social media.
Is that hosting or are they away? I thought they were away.
Are they away?
I think they're away.
Okay, maybe you're
They're
right.
hosting Goffstown next week.
Oh, next week then.
But I thought they were away. I have to double check the schedule. It's changed a lot over the last few weeks, and everybody's just flip-flop things and everything else.
All right.
So
I heard somebody in social media was encouraging Hudson fans to go to the Alvern game. Now, maybe they were encouraging them to travel because maybe they have a certain allotment of seats that they can.
I don't think in Division One that
No?
visiting fans are allowed. No.
Okay.
So maybe they are home.
Oh, maybe.
I don't believe that that's the case. I mean,
Yeah.
there may be an area there where you can watch it from afar, where you're not inside the gates, but
Salem is a school that always travels well. They get a lot of fans to go to their games wherever they may be.
Yeah, but again, that won't happen.
That won't happen
if
this year.
if Alvern is home. I'm not
Right.
sure if they're home or away.
So a fresh 15 minutes up on the scoreboard here at Stellos as we play the final quarter of the Battle of the Bridge girls varsity field hockey.
Bishop Girton will be at Merrimack on Friday. No BG
Part
fans
two.
will be allowed.
Okay. Yeah.
In football.
In football, yep.
Right.
They have their own rules. Who's making the rules? Is it the local school board?
The athletic directors and the school districts.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's why they vary.
I mean, the athletic directors propose it. The school districts, approve it.
Caitlin West in front,
and
trying to get the hat trick.
There's 2 saves already by Goulet, 2 kick saves.
Audra Robinson had a whack at it, and it was an illegal hit, according to the official.
What happened all summer long were administrators, the superintendents, and athletic directors would get together, come up with their proposals, and present them to the school boards.
I misspoke. It was an infraction against the Titans,
That'll
another
be a
penalty corner.
Yeah.
Audra Robinson collecting the pass, and the Titans able to get a stick in the way. Another infraction called against the Titans defense. So another penalty corner for South as they seek to add to a 3-0 lead with just over 13 minutes remaining in the game. Or the match, I believe they call field hockey as well, like
Check
soccer.
out the players down below us exercising. Those are the junior JV kids, I believe. They'll play after. That's what I like about field hockey. They play the JV second, varsity first.
And that way, if there's overtime in the JV game, or if they just go long,
Right.
Yeah, they don't affect the start time. Tom's on a tight schedule.
Well, volleyball tonight, the rematch of Monday night.
Right? You know what? That's one that could go the other way, right? You never know.
It could.
Yeah. I mean, within the match, volleyball is a game of momentum, and so that affects day-to-day also, I think.
The one thing that every coach has said, every losing coach in these games has said, we get another shot at them.
Yeah.
That's basically it. It's been said by by
Yeah.
volleyball, field hockey, and soccer.
They kind of like that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Take the loss as a learning experience, try to adapt and rebound, and certainly that'll be true in volleyball. As South certainly looked like the dominant team at first, and then North just found a rhythm in volleyball.
In volleyball, that was I think winning that third set by 2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
was
them,
the key set.
That that gave them a lot of confidence, and
Yeah.
they never trailed except for 1-0 in the set that you missed, set number 4.
Wow.
It was tied a few times, but they never trailed except for the
So
opening
that was
point.
probably the quickest game of the match, right? The last one?
I think it went 25-20. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
it
I
did.
gotta remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The second one was 25-18, remember? And then the
Right.
third one was
Right.
26-24, and I think this one was 25-20.
Oh, so the last one was not one-sided. It was just that North never trailed.
Right.
Right. Okay.
But
Yeah.
that it's not one-sided, but they were up, I think, 6-2 was their
Yeah.
biggest lead. I'm not sure. Gotta remember.
Yeah. 10:45 left, and South comfortably ahead, 3-0 here. I would say, I would guess. Actually, you have been at both field hockey games that North has had a better game tonight.
Yeah, I think they've had a better game defensively in front. It was a slow start for them, like it was the last time. But I think they take solace in the fact that over the last 2 quarters plus, they haven't allowed a goal. Or haven't allowed Caitlin West to score a goal. So I think that's.
So a restart here in a fine spot for the Titans. In traffic. Ball repelled nicely by the Panthers defense. It was in an area where you would think a Titans forward might get a quality whack at a goal, but instead, ball quickly cleared by the Panthers defense, and it's all the way toward midfield already. Ball ends up on the stick of number 13, Mary Holland, on defense for the Titans.
We are under 10 to play. 9.5.
Long dump in pass by South goes out, so Titans with possession. Oh, trying to find a way to get through that purple wall, and Caitlin West intercepts. Stick handling in traffic, just 15 yards from the goal, but it's a whistle that goes against the offense, so the Panthers surrender possession to North. Nice pass on the wing. Caitlin Fry had it momentarily, but just couldn't corral the bouncing ball, and Caitlin West ends up with it again. I'm sure the Titans fans hate to see her with the ball. The great stick handler and scorer for South, having a large role in their dominant time of possession in this match.
As long as Robert Bailey is the coach here, you'll get a Caitlin West on North at some point. I mean, they had a strong program 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. You know, they had some players, you know, and you know, it just took a dive, I'd say probably 3 years ago that they really started to struggle. 3 or 4 years ago they started to struggle.
Audra Robinson tried her best to sprint after and corral that, but it goes out of bounds far sideline. Under 8 minutes left to go now in the match, and a 3-0 advantage for South. Titans ball. Kaylin Creer passing it toward the middle, but again, 2 or 3 South players ready to intercept and move it back the other way. Caitlin West with it, head up, looking to get by a defender, and she can't. Give credit right there to number 9 on defense for the Titans. It was Madeline Phillips that stopped the hard charge, and now the ball's down all the back the other way. There's a whistle, and that call is going to go against the Titans. So they had a nice rush going on there, but they do not get the call, and
just need some finishers.
Yep. Kaylin Creer does a nice job of threading it through a defender. Gets it to Kira Seiss. Seiss had it for a moment. South steals it back now. Kaylin Creer with it again. Back to Kira Seiss. Goes out of bounds off the Titans, and it'll be South possession deep in their own end. 6.5 minutes to go in the game, and South controlling the play for the most part through what has been a low-scoring second half. Is it a no-scoring second half?
No scoring
No
second
scoring.
half. Which, you know, I'm sure Coach Bailey's pretty happy about that
Yeah.
in terms of keeping South off the board.
South has possession deep, and the ball's fought for at the back line. Goes out of bounds off of the Panthers. So well played by the Titans defense again. Not quite as much hard running in field hockey as there is in soccer, for example, but it is early in the season. It is late in the game.
And it's also warmer today, so there's probably fatigue setting in a little bit for both sides.
Which is not good for the Titans because they're going to need
that's
some
the
energy.
biggest thing when these coaches all brought players back during the summer for workouts and then, you know, conditioning. You go into a season where you're going to be doing a lot of running. You've got to make sure your players are well conditioned. That is the biggest thing for all the coaches.
Got to work in some exercise somewhere, some way in the lockdown to get ready, and it looks like most of the girls were able to do that. Seeing some steady motors out there. It appeared that South had the advantage in numbers at the start of the game. Counting during the national anthem, I counted 26 players in uniform.
Yeah, but a lot of them are probably going down out of JV and are working
probably,
out the JV
yeah.
teams.
I was going to say 26 for South and 20 for North, but
you
Tom's
do see,
right. You could see some
you do see that they have a few more players. There's no doubt about it.
mixing into the younger ranks.
Yeah, I think there's some players that'll probably play a little bit of both, especially for North, just to get the numbers up.
Right.
4:02 to play. 3-0 in favor of Nashua South. 2 goals by Caitlin West and 1 by Soleil Dubois.
Caitlin West's shot attempt finds a few Titans defenders in the way. Not only has the scoring slowed down, but the number of penalty corners and scoring opportunities have dropped dramatically as well here in the second half. It has been a defensively dominated 27 minutes. Soleil Dubois, one of the goal scorers in the shadows, trying to shovel it toward the front of the goal. Titans intercept. And a loose ball near sideline. Foot race. Lauren Shaw spinning around with possession. Does a good job of controlling it and advancing it down the field. Waiting there for South is Amy Marison, and Amy shoots it down the sideline. Finds teammate Olivia Lara.
Oh, nice move. Get that ball back.
Lauren Shaw with a nice play, and teams trade possessions. Sweeping it toward the middle was Amanda Krakow, number 6.
The big way to stop the progression for South is to cut down the passing lanes and recognize where those lanes are.
Right.
It's the same way in soccer. It's the same way in field hockey.
I think they've certainly done a better job of it in the second half.
Yeah, I think so too.
Panther ball. 2:10 left to go in the match or the game, and it does not look like North will have enough time or opportunity to come back, and probably sensing that, we see Caitlin West come off the field, I think, for the first time in the game.
I think that she's not going to go back on it.
Yep, Christina Menke will come out to replace her. And do I smell barbecue, or what is that?
Yeah, I smell something like that.
My fire senses are tingling, Tom.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no kidding. You're on alert.
Yeah, I am.
You're on alert with your
that's
job.
A controlled burn, wherever that is.
Boy, I would caution against those right now, wouldn't you?
I just saw a terrifying video. Rachel Ray's house burned down. The famous.
The cook?
Yes. A chimney fire. Too much creosote buildup. Ash flipped onto the roof. And a lifetime of notes and works and photos gone.
Yikes.
Yeah. A lesson about chimney cleaning.
I had somebody do mine, but they weren't able to get a lot of it because it was too damp.
Well, good for you for attending to it,
Yeah.
though. That's something that some people just completely neglect, and it's a danger. Right now, we're talking about elevated fire danger across the state, and a lot of cities and towns just have banned even backyard fire pits at this point until we get some more rain.
Oh, yeah, I just think don't even.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
but the grill will be going. My grill will be going, that's for sure.
Last minute scoring
And
attempt
they
is
get
in.
one.
They get a fourth goal with just 20 seconds left, or make it 18 where the clock is frozen.
Looks like right at the 20-yard line right there, leading the way. Who was that, Abuka? Do you know? Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
don't blame
all right.
you. It was in the shadows. Right. We're going to see a replay here, but this is, I'm told, Tim told me it's 2 minutes behind or a minute and a half behind.
Right.
So it may be a while before we see the actual.
I say right there at the 35-yard line.
You're probably right. Only 18 seconds remaining in the game, so if you stay with us, we're going to give credit where it's due for this goal when we see it on the
on the HD playback here on the monitor.
Gotta watch, John.
Keep an eye on it. 8 seconds left in the game. They have whistled the play dead, but the clock's going to tick down. The buzzer
Here
will
comes
sound.
the play right now that we'll see. As the final score is Nashua South 4 and Nashua North nothing.
It looked like it might have been tipped in, and I want to say it was Soleil got that one too.
All right, well, we'll
from
check
distance,
on.
you know?
I'll check on it downstairs.
Yeah.
But that'll do it, everybody. Go ahead, John. Take us out of here.
Yeah. Well, a 4-0 victory, a decisive victory in Game 2 of the rivalry this week. So South takes them both. 4-0 is your score. For Tom King, our cameraman Tim O'Neill, and our executive producer Pete Johnson, I'm John Collins, thanking you for watching. 4-0, South takes it in girls varsity field hockey. Good evening from Stellos Stadium, everybody.